Welcome to Safe Trader. This is Arvind. Today we are going to analyze or look at a buying strategy. A lot of people have asked me, posted on YouTube comments, personally text me on WhatsApp and also on Telegram, asking me whether there is an option buying strategy which they can use it on a daily basis with lesser risk. So here I am. I would like to bring out one such strategy with less investment and there is a higher probability, which I don't say that every day there will be profits, but there is a higher probability of booking profits. So we are going to talk about this strategy in 4 segments. First thing is why we need to enter into this strategy, or why do we need to do this strategy or follow this strategy. Secondly, we talk about the rules that are required to follow this strategy. Thirdly, we talk about the actual strategy itself, how we implement it, and when to take, where to take, what price to take, and what is the stop loss that we need to follow, and the target that we need to look at. Finally, we also look at the logic of this strategy. So these are the 4 segments that we will be covering for this strategy. Let's go ahead. Welcome back. So first we will look at why we need to follow this strategy. Here I would like to talk about few things why we need to follow this strategy. First of all, the basic difference between a option buyer and option seller. For example, if you are buying an option, probably maybe tomorrow on Monday or Friday, anytime you are comfortable with, where there is a gap of some 4 to 5 days till the expiry. Okay, consider that we have still another 4 to 5 days till the expiry. For example, option buyer is here and option seller is here. Now option buyer buys an option for maybe, let's say, 200 rupees. And let's say currently the bank nifty. So we are currently targeting bank nifty, not the nifty, because we haven't tested against nifty. So it's going to be bank nifty for us. So for example, the bank nifty spot price is 41,000. Just consider that the spot price is 41,000 or 41,100, whichever is nearing that. So option buyer buys 41,000 call option, okay, at 200 rupees, and option seller sells 41,000 call option at 200. Okay, now there is a 1 week time left. 1, 2, 3, 4, and we have 5 days till the expiry. Okay, now the price is around 200 rupees. Now we have option buyer here and option seller here, and both of them bought a particular 41,000 call at 200 rupees. Now imagine 41,000 is trying to move up. Okay, now on Monday the price is around, for example, 41,050. Okay, on Monday the price of the bank nifty closed at 41,050. It could have been moving in different directions. So, but at the end of the day, bank nifty closed at 41,050. Now, how the prices would look like? It would be around 200 rupees, 205 or 210 rupees around. So, something like that. And for the option seller also, it would be same. Now, as the price moves up, okay, as it goes to maybe Tuesday, probably the price is moving towards 41,100 by the end of the day. Okay, and the price might be moving to 41,150 by Wednesday. And for example, by Thursday, the bank nifty is closing around 41,180 or 190. So basically below 42,000. So for the option buyer, for him to be in profit, even if he has purchased a share or bank nifty option at 200 rupees, for him to be in good profit, the strike price has to move up by at least 200 points and go above that. Okay, now he has purchased 41,000 call, and at the money option, which is around 200 rupees. So for the option buyer, if he wants to be in profit, Bank Nifty has to go above this level, and as it moves up substantially, that is when option buyer will be in profit. However, if you look at the option seller, even if it is going to 41,180 or below 41,200, he still has the probability of booking profits. It would be around 180 rupees or 170 around by the expiry initially, and by the end of the day, the price might even go down to 50 rupees because of theta decay. So the probability for the option seller is higher to make profits in case if the Bank Nifty does not move substantially above the level that we are expecting. Whereas for the option seller, he gains profits even if the price is below the target level or is around this level is also fine for him. So option seller has more probability of booking profits. So that's first thing that we would like to convey. And secondly, it's the premium decay as we were talking about. Okay, premium decay is heavy as we move from Friday to next week Thursday. So any out of the money option is expected to turn out to be zero on Thursday. Any in the money option is expected to reduce its price by at least 70 to 80% based on the movement, of course. If the Bank Nifty is moving in direction, there would still be a decay, or against the overview or against our view, there is still a possibility of losing 70 to 80% of the premium if the option is in the money. So there is a danger of having premium decay when we have option buyer buying an option around these levels. So the probability for him is very less. Thirdly, it is the duration that matters. For you to be sure, for example, I have taken only 200 rupees premium. What if there is a premium of 350 rupees or 450 rupees or even 550 rupees if it is at the money option on Friday, because Friday premiums are high. So you might expect the premiums to be very high. If Bank Nifty is trading around 41,000, so for the one to be in profits by expiry, it has to move up by 550 points, and that is when option buyer has higher probability of booking profits. Otherwise, there will not be profits for the option buyer because there is a wait time of some 3 to 4 days here. Okay, so the duration also matters here. Now, when it comes to the fourth point, it is the investment. Okay, when we compare option buyer and option seller has to put in extra amount to trade in one lot, probably 1.2 lakhs. Of course, there is a possibility of trading with lesser amount as well by hedging. However, that's going to be risky in the long run. That's one of the drawback we have with the option seller. However, option buyer can invest only with what he has. Probably 2,000 he can invest in, or 10,000 he can invest in. So based on the capital that he has, lesser than 10,000, lesser than 40,000, he can invest in. So there is an advantage of the investments here. Though there is a high probability for the option seller to make money, there is a higher investment involved, and there is a lesser investment involved through a hedge position. However, that's going to be risky in the long run because we end up taking too many lots, or too much of hedge positions will put us at risk most of the times. Secondly, and for the option buyer, yes, there is a disadvantage of the premium decay, duration, and also he would need to be very, very sure of the trend that he is expecting to go the Bank Nifty towards. And considering all these disadvantages, one of the advantages that he has is that the premium or the investment that he can put in is only limited. He can go with any amount that he has. He can trade with 2,000 rupees or 10,000 rupees, whichever he is comfortable with. And finally, why we choose option buying? Fifth one, because majority of the traders, or the retail traders, I would say, okay, majority of the retail traders are invested in option buying than option selling because we have lesser capital. So keeping these things in mind, option selling is good, option buying is also good. We don't say option seller has only a higher probability of making money, or option buyer has the higher probability of making money. Both have the probability of making money based on how Bank Nifty or Nifty, whichever they are trading in, they need to have a certain view how this is going to perform in the future. But now what we are going to look at is that irrespective of the view, either the Bank Nifty moves up, comes down, it's going to be volatile, etc., or it's going to be sideways, we will follow this strategy, and with a probability of 73% at least, okay, of making money here. Okay, so keeping these things in mind, let's proceed and check the rules that are involved while trading this strategy. Welcome back again. So let's talk about rules here. Okay, the first rule that we would look at is we will do this or implement this strategy only 2 times a day. Maximum 2 times, I would say. Maximum 2 times a day, not more than that. We can even trade 1 time or 2 times, but not more than that. Okay, and we shall not take any over trades. We shall not do a over trade here. And this strategy is going to be practiced only, secondly, it's going to be an intraday trade than a positional trade. We are not going to hold our positions for next day. It's going to be squared off on the same day itself. So it is not going to be a positional. One thing that we would like to keep in mind before proceeding. And third thing is that we would like to avoid this strategy on Thursday. Now, for obvious reasons that we spoke about already, because of premium decays or theta decay, etc., that would affect our premiums, we would like to avoid this strategy on Thursday. Okay, that's going to be our third rule. Fourth, which is very important, we don't suggest a real-time trade quickly. Okay, if you are new or fresh to the trading platform, please do a paper trade. Okay, don't trade directly on your account with money. Please do a paper trade, probably for 3 months or so. Then once you are comfortable with this strategy, do a real-time trade. However, fifth one, if you still want to do this real-time trade, please trade it with only lesser quantity, probably with 1 lot to start with. Don't try with many lots, 10 lots or 20 lots. Please don't try that. That will eventually eat out your premiums, or when there is a stop loss that's getting triggered, you might end up losing a lot of money. So which we still want to avoid. So that's going to be 1 lot, maximum 1 lot that we would suggest to start with. Okay, and sixth one is when we will also speak about how we are going to set the stop loss. We suggest a strict stop loss. We suggest a strict stop loss. So if I am explaining your strategy with a certain stop loss, please follow that stop loss without fail. We are not going to compromise on the stop loss. And target also, we will talk about how to take care of the target. And seventh one and final one is that don't expect profits every day. As I said initially, every day you can't expect profits. No, we backtested this and we had only about 73% of the times this strategy was successful, which basically means that if you trade 100 times, you would be successful at least 73% of the times with this strategy. Okay, don't expect, if you follow this strategy 10 times, you will be making money at 7 times. No, this is not how it works. You will have to trade more number of times. That is when the probability that we are speaking about will come into place. So if you are trading 100 times, the probability of getting profits is 73 times. Or if you are trading it 1000 times, you will have 730 times profits in equity. So these are the basic and important rules that we would like you to follow before getting into our strategy. Let's look at the actual strategy, what and how we need to follow this strategy. First thing, we enter the trade 2 times a day, as I said. One is at 12 p.m. Second is at 2 p.m. We will talk about why we enter only at 12 p.m. or 2 p.m. later, but let's only talk about the strategy for now. Okay, this is the first point. We take the trade at 12 p.m. and or at 2 p.m. Okay, so some might want to trade it only once at 12 p.m. and some might want to trade it at 2 p.m. and some might want to do it at 12 p.m. and 2 p.m., which is also fine based on their risk and reward. Okay, that's first point. And secondly, we buy at the money call option and put option both together. You can, if you are using Zerodha, you can place a basket order. Okay, or if you are using any other demat accounts, you might want to use a limit order or market order based on your comfort. But we want you to take both at the money call option and put option. For example, if Bank Nifty is trading around 41,000, take 41,000 call option, 41,000 put option at the same time. For example, we consider that it is trading around 200 rupees. Let's just consider that it is trading around 200 rupees. Okay, that's the second point that we would like to keep in mind. Third, our stop loss. As soon as you buy, or at the time of buy itself, you can place the stop loss of 10% of the premium that you are buying. Okay, for example, if you are buying a premium at 200 rupees, your stop loss will be 40 rupees minus. Okay, which is like 160 rupees will be your stop loss. So this is going to be a very strict stop loss for us. Okay, 10% of the premium that we are buying will be our strict stop loss. Okay, that's going to be very important one. The stop loss has to be maintained for sure. Okay, fourth one is that the target. How this is going to be little catchy, so please watch it carefully. How we are going to set the target. Now, for example, we bought a call option or a put option at 200 rupees. Okay, this is the price we bought. Now, our first target will be 20% of the premium, which is like 240 rupees. Okay. Now, do we set the target? No, we don't set the limit order or target directly to auto sell off at this price. No, we are not setting a limit order for this 240 to sell it off. As soon as the price hits 240, we trail the stop loss to 210 rupees, which is like 10% of the premium. Sorry, 220. We set it to 220, which is like 10% of the premium that we bought. Initially, we set it to 10% of the premium that we bought, which basically means that we bought at 200 rupees. Now the price is at 240 rupees. Initially, our stop loss was at 160 rupees. Okay. And as soon as it hits 240 rupees, immediately our stop loss jumps to 220 rupees. Okay, which is like 10% of the premium that we are buying. So irrespective of whatever the premium that you are buying, please keep this in mind. So as soon as our target hits at 20% of the premium, we set the stop loss to 10% of the premium, which is like we are still in profit by 20 points here. Okay. And as the price moves up by another 20%, for example, 240, another 20% of the premium will be 40 rupees. It is 280. And from now on, we will trail the stop loss to our targets, 240. Okay, from 220 to 240. And if this is moving towards 320, we will trail the stop loss to 280. Okay, so this is the pattern that we will still follow, and this is called trailing stop loss. And for those who are a quick scalper, those who think that they want to book immediate profits, what they can do, they can either book a profits around this place. Okay, they can book profit and exit. That's one way. Or they can trail the stop loss to 220 and exit around this place when the price moves up at 280. Or they can even trail the stop loss to 260 maybe if they want later. So the trailing stop loss can be increased or decreased based on the risk and reward that option buyer want to take. So we can still increase the trailing stop loss to whatever the price we are comfortable with. So if the price is moving to 300, 320 for example, you might want to trail the stop loss to 300, saying, okay, I'm good with this price where even if this gets executed, I'm fine with these profits. So this is how we are going to trail the stop loss as the price moves up. So our first target will be 20% for sure. And after that, you start trailing your prices. Now, trailing your prices by 10%, 20%, whichever the profit you are comfortable with. But I would say you can trail it for every 20%, and target for another 20%. So every time. So this would give us a better view or better management of trailing stop loss every time. But however, it is left to your discretionary decision if you still want to increase it to 30% of the trailing stop loss or maybe 10% of the target. That is still fine. We are good with it because at the end of the day, what we want is profits. Now why we are actually jumping from 160 to 220 directly? Why not to 200? Yes, you can still set it to 200, but I am not suggesting 200 because it is still at the buy price. We will be still left with no profit, no loss, even if you are exiting at this price. Instead of that, why don't we book at least 20 points here? That is what my whole point is. We want you to book at least partial profits or hit the trail stop loss at 220 than hitting at 200 rupees. Now there might be higher possibility for the price to come back to maybe 210 and go back to 320 or 280, which is completely fine because as I said, you can't expect profits every day. So this is going to be our idea or the strategy pattern that we are going to follow first of all. Okay, so that's going to be, you can enter at 12 p.m. and 2 p.m. or 2 p.m. anything is fine. You need to buy at the money, call option and put option together. Okay, you can place a basket order or limit order based on your comfort, and your strict stop loss would be 10% of the premium that you are buying. Okay, and our target will be, initially it will be our 20% will be our target. Once it hits our 20% of the target, you start trailing for every 20% so that you can book profits as long as it is moving up. So for example, by chance if it is moving towards 400 rupees from 200, your trailing stop loss would be somewhere around 380 rupees, for example, or 360 rupees, anything is fine. So instead of setting a target to 220 or 240, it is better that you trail the stop loss and book your profits at higher price than setting a limit order and exiting here. But the condition here is that you have to be very quick in trailing stop losses because there are high chances in Bank Nifty that there might be a huge volatility sometimes where the prices can move between tens. It can directly go up to 280 and come down to 220. So there are high possibility of huge volatility. So you might want to be very quick in trailing your stop losses, which we have been already practicing on our premium group, which I've been updating it on a daily basis. So we mostly do a trailing stop loss even in stock options or index options that we have been practicing or doing. Okay, so this is the entire strategy. And in case now we are taking a basket order or a limit order here, two options at the same time, you call and put. If one of the options is hitting a stop loss, for example, the price is moving up and your put option stop loss is hit, so exit. So we are not, since we are placing a stop loss, we need to exit this put option, continue with the call option. For example, if there is a volatility or V-shaped movements, it might call option might also hit your stop loss. So put option might hit your stop loss and call option also might hit your stop loss, and that's okay. That's okay because we can't expect profits every day. As I said, we have only 73% of the chances where you can make profits. However, this is going to be a safe trade where you are going to trade with lesser lot, lesser money, with a lesser stop loss as well, just 10% of the stop loss, which is absolutely fine. So if there is a stop loss hit, please exit the trade. Don't take the trade immediately. Again, since the stop loss is hit, don't enter this trade again at 12:30 or 1 p.m. No, we don't suggest that. Okay, so if there is a stop loss hit on both of the strike prices, please exit. If one is hit, you are still fine because it's going to be a trending market. You can still book profits as the price moves up. Okay, so this is going to be our entire strategy. And if you have any questions regarding the strategy, and if you think there is some discrepancy, if you have some disconnects, please post your questions in the comment section, and I will try to answer each and every question possible. Also, you can join the Telegram channel, which I've mentioned it in the description, and you can also ask me the questions related to this, so that it will be a quick interaction between us. Okay, so with this in mind, let's go ahead and look at the last part of the video, which is kind of logic that we would like to talk about this. Now, first, logic, why we are entering at 12 p.m. and or 2 p.m. Why we don't want to enter at 9 a.m. or 10 a.m. or 11 a.m. etc. Why only 12 p.m.? First thing, mostly because of the volatility or due to previous day's market. Okay, or it could be some great news before that. So most of the times what happens is that early morning around 9 10:30, 10 p.m. or 11 o'clock, if there is a news on the day before or early hours of the trade is most of the times is dependent on other markets. Asian markets it could be SGX Nifty, it could be um, you know the board meetings that I've taken yesterday, or it could be multiple other factors due to which there we expect a huge volatility or different mood swings in the market from 9 o'clock to 12 o'clock. So at 12 o'clock or around 12 o'clock, we expect the market to settle down. We expect the market to settle down either upwards or sideways, or it could be downward momentum. But we expect that by 12 p.m. it tries to settle down to one particular direction, because whatever the movement that we had between this 9 to 12 p.m. was already dependent, or it is decided by the other factors, like as I said, Asian markets, or US dollar impact, or it could be previous days board meeting announcements. Okay, and it could also be any news. So due to that, there would be a volatility between this 9 to 12 p.m. So which we want to avoid having this, because due to volatility or V-shaped movements, we might hit our two stop losses at the same time, which we want to avoid. So that's one of the reasons why we enter at 12 p.m. Now, why at 2 p.m.? Because first thing, at 2 p.m. it is due to partially there is also impact of European markets around 2 or 2:30 time. Okay, and most of the important news are released before 2 p.m. Most of the important news are released before 2 p.m. because of which there might be one directional move. It could be downward momentum or upward momentum or volatility. So because of news that are mostly released before 2 p.m. are impacting 2 p.m. trade. That's first thing. Secondly, if you also look at the board meetings that are happening, they normally happen in the afternoon hours, mostly after lunch, or just before the lunch, around 1 to 2 p.m. or 1 to 3 p.m., etc. So you might expect one directional trade due to that particular factor. And finally, we would like to talk about the final one. We are going to do a quick trades here. Okay, we are not going to hold it for positional. Okay, that's one important thing that we would like to keep in mind, because we are not going to hold a particular bank nifty or any strike price for that matter in the money or at the money that you are planning. What we are suggesting is at the money, but if you think in the money is what your call, it's fine. But bank nifty at the money call option, if you are taking it, we are going to close it intraday. We are not going to hold it positional. No, we are not going to hold it because of decay parameter that might affect our premium. So we want to avoid that risk of holding the premiums for longer time and entertain decay parameter. We want to avoid that and close it intraday, irrespective of the loss or the profit that we get. Okay, so this is all about the strategy that I would like to put you across. Hope you like the content. Please try doing a paper trade first. Don't trade it with your real money, and at least for 3 months or so, you can try that. If you still want to do a real-time trade, do it with one lot only. Don't go with higher quantity or higher number of lots, which would eventually increase your risk of losing money. This is one. And trade cautiously, please. Okay, and maintain the stop losses that we have been talking about, and also trailing stop loss that you need to practice. Okay, these are the important factors that you need to keep in mind. If you like the content that we are providing here, please hit the like button, subscribe to our channel, please share it with your friends and your higher circle, so that this knowledge may be shared across multiple channels. Thank you for watching. Have a good day ahead.